What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Tayshawn, what's up? Pro, what's up? Moss, how you doing? Just chilling, bro. Just chilling. How's everyone's day been? Thanks, Pro. Peace out, bro. Snillium, what's up? Suki, how you doing? Christian, what's good? Tanua, how you doing? Who do you think had more potential in their universes, Meruem or Frieza? I'd say Frieza. Yeah. I mean, in general, like, Meruem could train for 100 years and still not be, like, first form Frieza level. But in terms of their verse, like, yeah, I still lean towards Frieza. He's reaching, like, God tiers after doing a couple push-ups. What's up, Bromus? How you doing? How's everybody doing? All right, so for this stream, we're going to be debating Chrollo versus Pitou. Just a quick tutorial walkthrough if you want to join the debate yourself. Here's how you do it. You go to my YouTube channel, you go to posts, you scroll down to this Chrollo versus Pitou poll, you click on the comments, and then this top comment right here, this pinned comment, will take you to the Discord so that you can join in on the debate. Just give me 1 second. I need to move Momo into a different room. My cat. Come here, Momo. All right. Let's go ahead and do this. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into this chat. How's the audio sounding? Is the audio sounding pretty good? Yeah, thank you, Bromus. Bromus put the Discord link in the chat. So yeah, if you don't want to like hop through all the hoops needed, like clicking on the poll and the top pinned comment, all that, Bromus posted a link in the chat too. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this. You said audio sounding good? Audio sounding good, that's good. Okay, that's good. So let's talk about Chrollo versus Pitou. Hisoka versus Chrollo is really Chrollo's best showing of like what he's capable of if he's given full prep time. And it also gives us an understanding of like where the limit of his abilities are. To fight against Hisoka, before he could even like assure 100% guarantee of victory, he had to take 100 chapters worth of prep time. At least 100 chapters. It was the entirety of the Chimera Ant arc and the election arc. He was just doing nothing but prepare for fighting Hisoka. And he also has this line of dialogue saying it was annoying for him to be pursued, but he was like going through this annoying process just to prepare for this battle. Yeah, it was him just collecting more and more abilities in order to do it. We get an understanding of like how strong his physical attacks are. He hits Hisoka with like dozens of kicks. It does close to 0 damage, showing that even characters like Hisoka likely scale above Chrollo in terms of overall aura and aura output. So like he's, in terms of just raw physical strength and stats, he's probably slightly below Hisoka. That's like what a lot of this fight shows. Like, look at how clean Hisoka is after taking dozens of kicks from Chrollo. It did almost nothing to him. Let's see here. He also says that this was like setting a record for the most number of abilities needed for him to kill a person. So like this battle against Hisoka might have been the most challenging battle of his entire life. Like Hisoka legit might have been the strongest person he's ever killed. And it took insane amounts of preparation to do this. And even with this 100 chapters worth of prep time plan, Chrollo still hit twice. Okay, so that's pretty telling. He's still hit twice despite preparing for this long. And Hisoka and Chrollo are somewhat relative in overall stats. So imagine what it would be like with someone who like massively eclipses him in stats, but we'll get to that in a second. We also have this line of dialogue from Hisoka where he says, if Chrollo had to block an attack with his body, that would hardly be a situation that Chrollo desires, which is like more evidence implying that Hisoka has like slightly higher aura output than Chrollo does, because if Chrollo just like straight aura diffed him, he wouldn't care about being blocking attacks with his body. We saw this with like Yuppie versus the Palace Hunters. None of them could even hurt him because he had just so much more aura than they did. We also see this with Gon versus the Owl and Bat. The Owl and Bat Chimera Ants hit Gon dozens of times, and he takes 0 damage from it because he just dwarfs them in aura. So like the fact that like blocking something with his body is something Chrollo really doesn't want to do. This implies that Hisoka has more like raw aura output than he does. Also in their arm wrestling matches, this is not like as concrete as the previous statements, but based on just raw arm wrestling, Chrollo's literally weaker than Machi, Phaeton, and Franklin in terms of just raw physical arm wrestling strength. We also see when Gon and Nobunaga are having their arm wrestling matches, they both are using Nen as well. So it implies that like with Nen, Chrollo's still physically weaker than characters like Machi, Phaeton, and Franklin, and then obviously Hisoka. Okay. Another thing we get to see like the limits of Chrollo's aura defense is when he fights Zeno. Zeno, when he starts charging up one of his dragon attacks, it's not even his strongest one. He uses a much stronger like dragon attack during the palace invasion, but like during the Chimera Antarch's palace invasion. But when he's fighting Chrollo, he just does like one of his more basic dragon attacks, and Chrollo says like he doesn't have the Nen defense to guard against it, so just Zeno's normal dragon attack is beyond Chrollo's Nen defense. And when you start scaling Zeno to Netero, Zeno says like Netero was always superior to him, so like that would mean even a prime Zeno Zoldyck would be weaker than like 100-year-old Netero. And we did get to see Pitou just take a Buddha hand from Netero at point blank range and took 0 damage from it. So this is all just stuff showing you like characters like Zeno, Netero, and obviously Pitou scale above Chrollo in terms of just like raw aura output. Like a lot of people do. Okay. And yeah, this was just Chrollo getting hit twice in his battle. This is actually like the most destructive attack we've seen in Chrollo's arsenal is the Sun and Moon. But it's like he can't really use this. Like if he's in an open field, he can't use it the same way he did against Hisoka. He was setting max level explosives on these puppets and making them explode. But if it's just a 1v1 fight, he's not going to be able to do that. His best bet is like trying to somehow put a max level explosive on Pitou and make Pitou blow itself up, which is pretty much almost impossible. If Chrollo can touch Pitou, Pitou's tearing him in half. But but the reason I wanted to show these here is this is like the max level explosive, and Hisoka actually evades it without even using bungee gum. Like in the beginning of the fight, do I have that panel here? Let me see. Oh yeah, this is the beginning of the fight explosive. This is one of the instant Sun and Moon marks, the one that he places in an instant. And Hisoka was able to dodge that explosion using bungee gum to like pull him out of the way. And then this explosion that like he gets partially hit by, he dodges this with just raw reflexes. He's not using bungee gum to evade it at all. This is just raw reflexes. And he's still able to partially dodge the max level explosion. It just blows off one of his feet. It doesn't like decimate him, right? So if like someone like Hisoka's able to dodge this at all, characters like Pitou definitely would. And the other thing is like if Hisoka still had his bungee gum like attached to the ceiling, there's a real chance he would have just dodged this altogether the same way he did the first explosion at the start of the fight. And now we can get into some Pitou scaling. Pitou like was stated to be stronger than Netero was. The gap between Netero and Hisoka is absolutely gigantic. It's genuinely like comparing a child to a full-grown man. Like we like a good way to explain it is like Netero's constantly looking for a strong person to fight, and when Hisoka to his face says like, you're the person I want to fight more than anyone here, Netero's so bored at the idea of fighting Hisoka, he doesn't show any interest in him at all, doesn't even look up at Hisoka as Hisoka's making this threat to him. He's genuinely bored at the idea of fighting someone like Hisoka because the gap is just gigantic. Yet Netero says like Pitou would be stronger than he is. This is also backed up by Cult saying that Pitou is stronger than he is. And then the interaction where Netero hits Pitou with a Buddha hand and it does 0 damage also backs up the idea that Pitou is stronger than he is. Even after training and doing his meditation training, Pitou's aura, it's just straight up like aura diffing Netero even after all that training. And then we get this statement from Nove and Morel. This is more debatable, but they're like, yo, if you can't beat him, then no hunter in the world could beat him. And some people think that Chrollo is a hunter because he calls himself a skill hunter, but we don't really know all of Chrollo's past. So another thing that's worth mentioning is Pitou has different kinds of puppets. I don't think I even got the picture of Pitou's battle puppet, but Pitou has different Nen puppets. Pitou has the healing puppet, Dr. Blythe, that just heals people, and then has the attack form puppet called Tepsakura, that Pitou uses when fighting in full power. And so Netero and Zeno, not even seeing Pitou's strongest puppet, this is Dr. Blythe, the healing puppet. It's not even for fighting. Just sensing its aura made them think they were both going to die. Okay, so yeah. A character like Netero who scales massively above Chrollo, just seeing Pitou's healing puppet, thought that he was going to die. And then this is Zeno saying that he was never equal to Netero, so that tells you even prime Zeno was weaker than old 100-year-old Netero. Okay, so basically, how would this fight really go? I'll put it to you like this: even if you gave Chrollo massive prep time, let's say you gave Chrollo 100 chapters of prep time, a whole year of inverse time to prepare for the battle against Pitou. The same way Hisoka's able to hit Chrollo twice in that fight despite all that prep time, if Pitou hits Chrollo twice, Chrollo's in 2 separate pieces. He just dies. He just straight up dies. It's just way too much aura for Chrollo to deal with. He doesn't even have the Nen defenses to guard like a casual attack from Zeno, let alone an attack from someone like Pitou who scales massively above Zeno. Because Pitou scales above Netero and Netero scales above Zeno. There's nothing... the fact that like he's straight up saying I can't guard against like one of Zeno's like more casual attacks, it lets you know that like a real strike from Pitou would decimate him. To be honest, like Pitou versus Chrollo would go very similar to how Pitou versus Kite went. Pitou killed Kite before Pitou even had a Hatsu ability. You add a Hatsu ability for Pitou on top of that, and it's just like really not even close. Like the gap between Kite and Chrollo isn't really even that big. So like, just think about it like this. If you have, let's put it like this. Pitou pretty much low diffed Kite before Pitou even had a Hatsu ability. And Kite and Chrollo are somewhat close in power, with Chrollo being a little bit stronger. Then Pitou becomes massively stronger than that by just getting a Hatsu ability afterwards. So, yeah, even if you thought like Chrollo would do a little bit better than Kite did, Pitou more than makes up for that gap by just getting a Hatsu ability. You could make an argument genuinely that Chrollo would do worse than Kite did because Pitou has a Hatsu ability now. So it's just actually not close at all. His best chance of victory is like trying to hit Pitou with Sun and Moon. But if Chrollo's landing a single attack on Pitou, Pitou's landing 10 attacks on Chrollo in that same instance, and he's just dying. Okay, so it's really not even slightly close to a fight whatsoever at all. But yeah, we can have a debate on it. If anyone wants to join the debate, here is the link to join. It's right here. It's the pinned comment to this most recent poll I did. Here, let me open up my other laptop. I don't know if anyone's even going to want to debate this one. We had some people who were saying they wanted to at first, but they weren't replying when I was reaching out to them just now. So I don't know. Maybe we won't even have a debate on this. Here, let me grab my other laptop so I can see the comments as we do this. Just give me 1 second. But yeah, if anyone wants to debate, this is your chance to just hop in the Discord. I'm going to grab my laptop and then I'll start the debate portion. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah, I hope people actually show up because like there are some people who were saying that they wanted to do this debate, but they haven't replied to me, so I don't know if we'll actually even have a proper debate here. How much prep time does Chrollo have? He can have as much as he wants. He can have as much prep time as he likes. But I would put it like this: even if you took Pitou, placed Pitou in the exact environment that killed Hisoka, Pitou would kill Chrollo in like under like 2 or 3 minutes, like almost instantly, actually. Momo, you gotta relax. You gotta chill out. Okay, yeah, I'm just opening the I am opening the stream on my other laptop so I can see your guys' comments as we do this debate. Let's see here. Okay. All right, so I'm about to open up Discord, so feel free to hop in the Discord if you guys would like to participate in the debate. Let's see here. Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up?
Oh, there's some background noise.
Okay.
Oh. Wave Dash, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, man? Wait, could you say something really quick? I'm not sure if I could actually hear you there.
How about now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Hope your day's going all right, bro.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day, bro. So, yeah, for this debate, did you want to debate Chrollo versus Pitou?
Yeah, I'm definitely down.
Okay, sick. Who do you think would win, and how do you think it would go?
Well, realistically, I do think Pitou waffle tops, but for the debate, I want to try devil's advocate for Chrollo. It'd be hard, but I'm gonna try to put the shit on my ass.
Okay.
So for Chrollo's conditions on winning, we'd have to get a bit of theory out of the player. I think there's a chance. Let's see, how can I put this? I think if you give, well, for one, he's going to need all the prep time in the universe. Like, he's going to need an arena double the size of Heaven Arena somehow. He's going to need, already have obtained the Sacred Treasure upgrade to his office. And he'll need to also finish and somehow return from the whale, the Dark Continent. And let's just, because we know we ain't getting no more chapters, and who knows how long, but let's just say theoretically, Chrollo is able to obtain the Sacred Treasure level upgrade. And let me ask you a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Sacred Treasures are guarded by the Akid Empire and I believe some of the Zodiacs, right?
I don't know if the Zodiacs are guarding them too. I just remember reading like they're more heavily guarded than like the King is, I think.
True. And this is not the same empire that hires the Zodiac? Okay, okay,
I don't know. I
guys.
don't actually know. I'd have to look. I don't remember who hired the Zodiac. They might just be doing it because Netero told them to. I don't know if they were hired.
Right, right. It's just another. Yeah, no, I think. I mean, yeah, it's gonna try hard for Chrollo, but he would need these secret treasures, and if I were to implement some real life lore, the Japanese secret treasures like in real life are like supposed to be mystified and cursed and all these extra shit. They're like JJK objects,
Hmm.
but in Hunter x Hunter we don't have really shit for information on them. But if he's requiring that for his Hatsu, like because his Hatsu requires thievery to evolve, I think when he does get the sacred treasures, that if he's able to do successfully and not, die or lose a limb on the way there, he would genuinely become one of the strongest Nen users in the series, only because of the requirements for this upgrade on his. These this many conditions using Nen just for the upgrade is enough to add oomph to his ability. And just like how he got that bookmark, this time he would probably have like 2 or 3 bookmarks, or maybe his book would turn into a fucking into like an Amazon Kindle, and it's just instead of a physical bookmark, he could just go through different tabs or something like that. But in all honesty, I think it's a little unfortunate we got to see such strong beings so early in the series, because can't fathom him being able to early bridge the gap. He would need some kind of hacks that we like a bleach tier hacks that we haven't like seen in the series yet. Something that's like, oh, if I open up this ability with this tab on my it's on Kindle, I can just straight up do some corrupt shit like force shoes to Detsu, and I ain't gonna lie, even then, like, he's too durable. She's too durable.
Yeah, I mean,
Debating
I pretty much agree with you, man. Like, it's I think with this new upgrade, he might become like something close to the Royal Guards. We don't really know what he'll be after he gets this next upgrade. We don't even know like what it will actually do. Maybe it'll be something where he can just instantly steal Hatsus from you, just like looking at you or something. We don't really know what it'll be, but
yeah.
I mean, just based on what we've seen so far, though, like there's pretty much nothing he could do at this point with the abilities he has right now for him to be able to win. Like the fact that he wants to evolve before fighting Hisoka again says a lot about like the limits of his current powers.
Okay, yeah, no, straight up, I agree, by the way. But for the sake of argument, what if, the Sacred Treasure upgrade allowed him to take Hatsu's, and not just Hatsu, but Nen values of the characters? So he built his way up from, and he is going to have to get at least slightly more stronger in the manga before I think he's able to take the Sacred Treasures and kill Hisoka, if possible. And if he's able to accomplish those feats, I think there's a chance he could just straight up go for somebody like a Zodiac or somebody like a Beyond Netero, maybe even take their Hatsu and Nen values, and then he'd be a lot closer to Netero, if not above, depending on how you depict or interpret Beyond Netero's power. I haven't seen any of it or anything, but
I mean, honestly, like
Beyond Netero.
Honestly, like the gap between Pitou and Chrollo is so big. I genuinely think even if Pitou doesn't use Hatsu, like Pitou could still just beat Chrollo. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. Like after Chrollo evolves, he could get a lot stronger. So maybe like I don't know, maybe he'll evolve and like have some sort of like Kamehameha attack. We really don't know what he'll get.
No, we straight up don't know. We straight up don't know. I feel like this is tied to the Dark Continent, and he somehow evolves his ability and made it to the Dark Continent. Maybe he could set a condition where, like how Kurappa got conditions where you only have to do certain abilities on the spiders. Maybe he could set a similar extreme buff, but even then, the buffs to bridge the gap would have to be a dope gauntlet of Nen boost.
Yeah,
genuinely. I'm picking out apples over here. There's not much I can say for Chrollo besides theoreticals and like, oh, maybe he'll steal beyond Netero's fucking nutsack, and he's stronger now. Like I don't know, but like
Yeah,
it's straight up. I'm thinking. I've been reading this manga for like 13 years or maybe even more now, but it's so sad. We got to see such strong characters too fast, and then the current strong characters we have don't have any feats or anything. So it's a little headcanon, but personally, I don't think he can win whatsoever. And even if you use the
and last 30 seconds here.
Netero, sorry, second.
Last 30 seconds here.
All right, no problem. And then if you use the comparison to Netero, how he's able to hit people within 0.2 seconds or 0.1 seconds, people don't really understand how big of a gap 2 seconds is to like 0.1. You know what I mean, or something like that. I think Chrollo's good. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, it's pretty one-sided. I mean, even if you can say they can both react within a 0.2 second time frame, if Pitou can do 10 attacks in that time frame and he's doing like 1, it's a huge difference still. But I hear exactly what you're saying though. Like if Chrollo's next upgrade is like Dragon Ball Z level, then he could potentially do something. But as of right now, he has nothing. But I agree with you made some good points, man. But okay, let's see who else would like to go. I think there was. Oh, and thanks for sharing your points, Wave Dash, bro.
No problem, bro. Thank you.
No worries. And who else would like to go? Maybe Liquid, or maybe Liquid's not there at the moment. Maybe Yuki. Oh wait,
I can go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Liquid. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, bro. You?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Who do you think would win between Pitou and Chrollo?
I actually think Chrollo has a fair chance because if we're talking prep time, I think an aspect of Chrollo that's underrated when it comes to prep time is that he can take other Phantom Troop members' abilities, like we've seen him do with Shalnark and Cortopi. So I think he could probably like take the abilities of every single member. He could have Tink's ability and Woogie's dead, but he could also have Big Bang Impact. And I think it would actually help him a lot against Pitou. And I think it's been a while since I've read the Kira, and Pitou has like 2 abilities, right? It's Dr. Blythe and the Therapist Core.
Yep.
And what Therapist Core does, if I remember correctly, is it just manipulates Pitou's body so that it basically does movements extremely fast. So it would basically be like fighting an extremely strong enhancer. So in that sense, I think that Chrollo could actually have a chance against Pitou if he has prep time and if he has access to the Phantom Troop abilities and all the abilities we've seen him use, like Front Cross and Sun and Moon and all that. I think he actually have a pretty good chance. And also, if we remember, when Pitou was facing Metro, he actually got clapped away by his Buddha. Now, I'm not sure if Nero was trying to kill her or if he was just trying to push her away. I'm thinking that he was holding her back. So if he wanted to, he could actually hit her hard enough to kill her. So Pitou isn't that, that resistant. Yeah, I really think that Chrollo does have a good chance if he has enough prep time.
Okay, well, my question is, oh, hey, yo, hold on a second. Got a donation from Bible First. Bible, thank you for the donation. I appreciate Bible with the same style of donation every time. He said, I'd be that ref just so that just before I die, I can break the 4th wall and tell Hisoka and Chrollo what Lilo highball and lowball both of them on the power scale. That is a wild donation there, man. Thank you for the donation, Bible First. I appreciate it, bro. But yeah, so Liquid, what I'm just thinking is we saw that Netero hit Pitou with the intention of sending Pitou flying miles and miles away. Like he spent tons of money to like hire Zeno to help him separate the Royal Guard from Meruem. So like everything he was doing there, he was trying to separate the Royal Guards from Meruem. So he you can make an argument that Netero was actually hitting Pitou as hard as he possibly could, because he was trying to separate the Royal Guards from a full-fledged fight with Meruem, between him and Meruem. But it did like actually nothing to Pitou. And then we also do have the panel. We have well, first off, we have Netero straight up saying Pitou's stronger than he is, and that's kind of backed up by the fact that like Pitou took the Buddha hand to the face and took no damage from it. And then we also get this scene here where Pitou like just summons their medicine puppet. This isn't even a puppet for fighting. And just like the raw aura of it made Netero and Zeno think they were both about to die. So it's just kind of shown over and over that Pitou's like on another level of just raw power than Netero is. And honestly, like Netero gaps the Phantom Troop. I think Netero on his own might be stronger than the whole Phantom Troop is. And you have Pitou stronger than Netero. It's a pretty big gap. Like, the way I think about it, even if Chrollo took all of the Phantom Troop's abilities, what ability is stronger than Netero's Buddha hand?
I don't think there's any ability that can be as strong as Netero, but I think that his ability like target enough, it can create some pretty good power. But you gotta remember, you know, Netero, when he said that Pitou was stronger than him, that was like before he went through his whole training in the mountains and meditating so that he could get his power back. So he was pretty rusty when he said that. And yeah, I think he was also probably being modest because he was kind of still putting on the old man persona in front of Nov and Mora. And I think Pitou isn't like nearly as durable as Meruem, because when Meruem hit her with his tail, it did seem to do quite a lot of damage. So I think Pitou definitely isn't nowhere near durable as Meruem. And Netero did manage to lightly scratch Meruem and make him feel some dull pain, even if it was after like thousands of hits. And the Zero Hand, I do think that Netero would end up being Pitou if the same thing happened to her than Netero did to Meruem.
Yeah, I
also
do.
For Chrollo,
I do think.
yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I do think Netero could beat Pitou in a drawn-out battle, but just but that's mainly due to skill. Like in terms of just raw stats, though, it does seem like Pitou is a lot stronger. Just because it's like Netero's an enhancer, and to take an enhancer's Hatsu ability to the chest and like not even be scratched by it is actually insane. Like imagine someone like hitting Killua with, like, imagine Uvogen hitting Killua with Big Bang Impact to the chest and it does no damage. That's kind of like the equivalent of what happened with Netero hitting Pitou with his like enhancer Hatsu and it didn't even scratch Pitou. Like the only way that's possible is if you're like aura gapping your opponent.
Yeah. Do you think that Adult Gun beats Netero?
I made a whole like really in detail video on that.
Okay, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I would recommend watching that one to get like a more detailed answer. But like basically the difference between Adult Gon and Netero in strength is like it's like a pro bodybuilder to a baby. Because like yeah, in terms of raw strength, it's actually gigantic. Because we saw Adult Gon without even using Hatsu, he punched a hole through post-mortem Nen Pitou's chest. He just took his fist and punched right through post-mortem Nen Pitou's chest. Post-mortem Nen Pitou's even stronger than the normal Pitou, yet like Netero with his Hatsu couldn't even scratch Pitou. Like the gap is huge. Like just Gon's normal punches are a lot stronger than the Buddha hand by a large margin. Then when he uses rock, he becomes dozens of times stronger than that. You could also use the statements where Pitou said like Gon just standing there was equal to Meruem. Then rock makes him dozens of times stronger than that. Like his strength is huge. Like if he lands a single attack on Netero, he turns to dust basically. But the difference, like the thing that would make it a struggle is we don't know exactly how long Adult Gon's transformation lasts, or if he'd be able to get through the Buddha hands.
Yeah.
Oh, Professor Fiction, what's up, bro? Welcome to the stream, dude. Sorry, Liquid. Did you want to share like one last point before we go to the next person?
Oh no, you can go to the next.
Are you sure?
Yeah. because I'm cooking at the same time. So
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for sharing your points, man. Um,
no problem. Thanks.
so let's see here. We had Neto and Yuki, and then the last person who just joined was King Shadow. So like, Neto or Yuki, would you guys want to go? Either of you guys?
Yeah, I can go.
What's up?
I just wanted to argue the same thing. Like Pitou is above Chrollo in every respect.
Oh, you like agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Pitou massively outscales Chrollo. Even when you take in consideration purely speed, like we've seen Pitou being able to react, not getting like completely blitzed by the Netero's Buddha hand. Netero's Buddha hand is stated to be like around 0.1 second, less than that. And like Chrollo, like I can see people making arguments about why he was like getting caught off guard and blinded and stuff, but he was basically unable to react to Rapika's chain that was like 0.2 or 0.3 second, and that was stated by Pakunoda. And basically just seeing that proves that Pitou would be basically able to react to things Chrollo wouldn't be able to react to, thus massively outscaling him in speed. So there's no way you could say Pitou is even getting hit by Chrollo.
Oh, yo, what was that music? Oh.
Yeah, so even if Pitou gets hit by Chrollo, I don't think that's possible because Pitou basically speed blitzes him. And even if she gets hit, her oral output is so much greater than his, so she wouldn't take any damage.
I completely agree with that. Like, yeah, I mean, just the fact that Pitou stated to be stronger than Netero is, and we saw Chrollo was saying like just a casual dragon attack from Zeno was too powerful for Chrollo to block, and Pitou's and Netero's above Zeno, Pitou's above Netero. It's like Pitou's like a couple tiers above Chrollo in all stats, and we saw even Hisoka was able to hit Chrollo twice, even when you give Chrollo massive prep time. So like, yeah, if Pitou hits Chrollo at all, Chrollo's probably just going to die or be severely injured.
I mean, even Pitou was massively. Yeah, sorry, just let me say something. I think personally that Pitou is still massively faster than Hisoka, just stat-wise.
One second, Pope.
So
Dr. Someone else say so.
Wait, hold on, guys. Let Yuki finish his point, please. Yeah, here, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Yuki.
Yeah, I was saying like, I think that Pitou massively outscales this version of Hisoka in speed. I'm not talking about post-mortem Hisoka, just the one that fought Chrollo. And basically, even if you give like as much prep time as you want to Chrollo, he wouldn't be able to touch her. And if she touches him, he's dead, basically.
I agree. I pretty much 100% agree.
Is there like a single ability though that you think if Chrollo was to take, like he could take on Pitou or?
Yeah,
really
like
no chance.
I have a massive counter argument to scale Chrollo.
Wait,
you would just let me go next if that's okay.
Hold up.
Yeah, like something that people haven't even thought about yet. If you want me to share it.
1 second, King Shadow. Sorry, I just got a phone call, so I had to like press mute on that. Yuki, did you finish sharing all your points already? Like, was that your like final point you did? Okay, sick. And then next is Neto, and then King Shadow. You can go. Wait, hold on 1 second, guys. I need to send a text to my mom. Hold up. Okay, we should be good. All right, Neto, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I know how we were like just talking about like Chrollo, like even with prep time, he'd like kind of lose like to Pitou. Like, do you think, like a little bit off topic, do you think like post mortem like Hisoka would have a chance or like not at all?
Post mortem Hisoka, probably still no. I mean, he hasn't displayed anything that would suggest that he could, but we really don't know the limits of his powers yet.
Because if he's still weaker than Netero, he wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Netero thought like Hisoka was fodder, Like he wasn't even interested in the idea of fighting him. Oh, we just got a donation from Harvey. Harvey, thank you for the donation, bro. You said Chrollo loses, but you think he gives a better fight than Kite. Kite was able to scratch Pitou after all. Honestly, maybe not because that was Kite fighting Pitou who didn't have Hatsu. So like even if you think like Chrollo is a bit stronger than Kite, even that's debatable to be honest. I do think he's a little stronger.
Kite had one arm.
But like the gap between Pitou with no Hatsu versus Pitou with Hatsu, that might be a bigger gap than the gap between Chrollo and Kite.
It's definitely a bigger gap.
It might be.
Mm.
But Neto, what were you saying though?
And then also, well, going back to Chrollo, if you think Chrollo, like, obviously, like, prep time's, like, his whole thing, like, if he had, like, the whole Phantom Troop, he like, with Illumi, and all that, like, do you think he'll have a chance then, or no?
With Illumi, maybe. We don't really know the limits of, like, how the Nen Needles work. Like, for example, I don't know if he'd be able to, like, take over Pitou's body with one Nen Needle. Maybe Pitou could just like override it with raw aura. We don't actually know like the limitations of that. So maybe that's
assuming that Pitou can get touch with the Nen Needle.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like if he can even land the Nen Needle, but it's like even if it does, I mean, for example, do you think someone like Shalnark could beat Pitou with his needle? Like
Yes.
you think yes?
The reason why that's not possible is because for manipulators, they even said it's first come, first serve. So with that being said, Pitou, she's manipulating herself with her Nin ability. So it doesn't make sense for another manipulator to like manipulate her. She's manipulating herself.
That's actually a pretty good point. Maybe that would just kind of counter it, yeah.
Well, he gets like a super boost, but I wouldn't say it's like enough for where like he'd be able to like overcome or like have an advantage against like Pitou.
Oh yeah, I don't think so either, because it is just his own aura. Like the difference between like Shalnark's aura and Pitou's would be giant.
Trash.
Yeah, it'd just be a big difference. Yeah, but
Real. Get me started again, bro. I would do the whole shouter thing, bro.
No, but before other people go, I'd like Neto. Did you have any other points you wanted to make before we can let King Shadow go next, then Pope Pedro, then Lenny if you wanted to go too.
Yes, King Shadow did have good. Was gonna get to a point. I don't know if you remembered it, but one last thing, like we were saying earlier, like Chrollo versus Kite. Like I don't know. I know that could possibly be like a separate video, but Kite like had one arm, and we were only shown like 3 of his abilities. So do you think like now that he's been reborn, like he's definitely stronger? But would he stand more of a chance, or like not at all?
I mean, I don't even know if he is stronger because he's like in a child body. So I don't actually know. I don't even know if he has all of his old abilities yet. He might not even have like the same amount of aura he did when he was an adult. But I think once he's an adult again, he'll be like crazy strong, probably stronger than he was before. So then, yeah. But right now, I don't know. He's like in a child body.
Yeah, because like I heard someone say like he was stronger, but it wasn't really discussed after his last conversation with Gon. So, but yeah, King Shadow was like gonna go. Like he had a point for Chrollo.
Yeah, for sure. But like to answer your question about Kite real quick, like it makes sense for him to be strong because he's like part Chimera Ant now, and we've already seen what happened in the NGL when a regular Chimera Ant goes against a human, especially if they have guns. It makes no difference. So it would just make sense for him to be stronger. Yeah, sure. But to speak about Chrollo for a sec, right? And a better matchup would be Yuppie, but if you were to fight Neferpitou, I don't think he will win. But to give a heavy counter argument, right? If we're putting him in a position where he's in the same position as Palace Hunters and Poop doesn't exist, and you're giving him prep, like first, let me ask you a question, right? How long do you think it took Chrollo to defeat Hisoka with prep time?
He prepped for like the entire Chimera Ant arc and the election arc, and then a little bit after that.
So like approximately a year, right? Around there.
I think about a year.
Okay. What if I told you were wrong? What if I told you that he planned to defeat Hisoka within 5 minutes prep time? Here's heavy evidence to imply it, right? First, Hisoka said during the Phantom Troop arc that anytime Chrollo leaves, he leaves without a trace and he's untrackable. I'm not able to find him. That's meaning that's why he was like Karabika, like the Phantom Troop are still here, and I don't want the Phantom Troop to leave. I'd rather just fight right now. I'd rather take on the whole entire Phantom Troop because he leaves without a trace. With that regard, he's similar to Jing, if you were to ask me, right? Not only that, so it's very much possible that after like Chrollo got his Nen back, he just disappeared without a trace again. But not only that, but we know the conditions of his Nen abilities, and he's using 3 of the Phantom Troop Nen abilities, right? And knowing the conditions and knowing that they were willing to give him their ability, it probably only took 3 minutes to steal each one of the Phantom Troop abilities, right? And also keep in mind that he planned with Hisoka to fight during Heaven's Arena. They both were 4 masters, so it was already a scheduled fight, period. Like, they were going to fight for sure. Hisoka had no way to track down Chrollo. So it just makes sense for like Hisoka just to wait and like fight him during Heaven's Arena. They both agreed upon that. So with that being said, the prep time only took about 5 to 10 minutes, if I'm being like generous. And I say that to say this.
Wait, where are you getting the 5 to 10 minutes from?
Okay, so for the conditions to his ability, he had to reach all 4 requirements within an hour, right? And if they're willing to give him his ability, he's able to like reach those requirements within a minute. Right? If they're like willing to, he already knows each one of the Phantom Troop's abilities, their names, and like the he just has to ask a question and make them touch a book. That can be done within a minute, like super easily. Because the conditions has to be reached within an hour.
Well, let's hold on a second. So you're saying you think Chrollo was just like, hey, let me hold your abilities real quick. Just took the abilities like mindless, like a mindless zombie, took them all. Then he said, oh, now I'm going to start thinking of a plan right now. That's how you think it actually went? He was just taking their abilities for fun and didn't start thinking until after he took them?
It's not unknown for Chrollo to do that, because first you have to consider the fact that he had no Nen and he knew Hisoka wanted to fight him. He could have thought of right then and there, okay, how do I defeat Hisoka with 100% guarantee that I can win? There's also the fact that we have a character like Jing who changed a person name within 1 minute. Like, he changed a whole complete character name, like, legally within 1 minute. So to act within 1 minute isn't impossible. To like make a decision like that isn't impossible for a character to do.
But he also had other abilities not from the Phantom Troop too. Like, he had the convert hands. We don't even know where he got that. Like, that was like on a mission, some random. It could have been like hundreds of miles away for all we know.
Or for all we know, he could have had it since the Phantom Troop arc. He could have had it since he could have had it when he disappeared on Chrollo, right?
It's pretty much blatantly stated by Hisoka. He said, like, you left me hanging after the exorcism in order to gather your cards. And he also says, like, the Sun and Moon ability, it's straight up stated that he got that like after the exorcism. Because he said he got that and then he created the bookmark after that for that ability. Like, those are all new things that he got after the exorcism, because he didn't have those abilities when he fought Zeno in Silva.
So do you think that was for prep time, or that was for mainly Ahsoka? Because I heard that the Sun and Moon came from Meteor City.
It did, yes. But here, guys, I just want to debate King Shadow for right now. But yeah, he got both of those powers like for the fight with Hisoka. That was all part of his like elaborate plan. And like, there's also a line from Illumi where he talks to Hisoka. He's like, hey, you know that there was Chimera ants and they killed Netero. He's like, what are Chimera ants? What do you mean Netero died? Like, that shows you the whole Chimera ant arc. Hisoka was chasing Chrollo the whole time.
Yeah, and not only, but like, mind you, they scheduled their fight. And right when Hisoka had found out that Gon and Killua life was in danger, he stopped chasing Chrollo. Most likely because it's just like, I'm scheduled to fight you regardless. Right? That
was at the end of the Chimera ant. Wait, hold on. Say that again. What did you said like after? Wait, say that again.
After he found out about Killua and Gon's life being in danger, he just decided to stop chasing Chrollo completely. And mind you, he was already chasing a new target previously. Like, he was going after the Zodiacs. He came to the Sherman election arc.
But I'm just not understanding how you're agreeing with me that he chased him the whole Chimera ant arc, but you think that was only 5 minutes.
What I'm saying here is, Chrollo disappears without a trace. Hisoka tries to find him. He can't, right? And during that time period, I'm willing to concede that, okay, he's gaining new abilities, to defeat Hisoka, yeah, sure. But mind you, in order to gather said ability, it only takes 1 hour. That's the requirement, right? So he probably already had a plan improvised within a couple minutes to defeat Hisoka. It didn't take and then Heaven's Arena is always going to be
I think
filled.
that's a very big leap. And I'm not really understanding how you're making that leap either. Because you're like, from what you're saying, it sounds like you're thinking that Chrollo, like a mindless zombie, was just collecting abilities at random, and then he just says, you know what, a year's gone by, let me just go ahead and fight Hisoka right now, and then in like 30 minutes he just slaps a plan together with like crazy glue and just like goes ahead and starts fighting. I'm not really sure how you're coming to that conclusion.
What I'm suggesting here is that he like, it didn't, you can say he had prep time, but it didn't take a year. It didn't even take months. It probably just took a day. That's what I'm suggesting here.
But
like, in order to think
but
of
what
a way
is
to defeat
what is
Hisoka,
that
it probably
based
just took
on
a day
though?
max.
What is that based on? When we know,
It's based on the fact that in order to steal an ability, he has to take an hour. He knew he was gonna fight Hisoka at one point, and he knew that before he even got his nin back. And right when he got his nin back, he was already on the move. Why would it take a whole entire year to defeat Hisoka?
because he refused to fight him until he had everything in place.
But mind you, the fight was already set. Like, what was stopping his Chrollo from just running away? Period. From like just disappearing without a trace and never meeting Hisoka again.
Because
like,
Hisoka was finding him.
The fight.
Because Hisoka was finding him. Like Chrollo straight up says, he says, being pursued has become annoying. Chrollo says that. But here, I actually have, I actually have on screen the list of conditions needed for Chrollo to steal an ability. So which one of these conditions were you talking about?
The last one is the hour one. He has to do everything within an hour.
So this is just for stealing an ability.
Yeah.
So what does that have to do with what you're saying?
What I'm saying here is for... Okay, dang it, I wasted too much time. I actually have to go. I'm about to do something right now. But good talk, man. I want to continue later on. I'll be available later on today. But actually, no, okay, I can wait a little bit. Yeah. So what I'm implying here is it's the fact that okay, never mind. I actually have to go. See you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for the debate.
No worries. You're good. All right.
Okay.
So I think
I wanted to ask how was his relevant to like him fighting Pitou for like a second.
I'm not
so ready.
I'm not actually sure, honestly.
I'm ready.
All right, Pope Pedro, what's up, bro? How you?
Nothing he said made any sense. That didn't make any sense whatsoever. Because even if it was the whole just an hour debate or whatever, he still has to travel to the guy to like steal his ability and then beat him and all this other stuff. So it was bad. Man.
Yeah.
No, of course it doesn't matter if it was like 5 minutes or like an hour, or even if he took like a whole year to prep time against Pitou. I still think Pitou has more likely a chance to come on top.
I do too, honestly.
Yeah,
And
like Chrollo doesn't need a lot of prep time to fight, but like Pitou, we've seen can literally just make up abilities on the fly in a few seconds.
truth. But all right, guys, I want to hear Pope Pedro's points. What's up, man?
Okay. So Lilo, buckle up. This is gonna be like some Ocean's 11 type George Clooney and Brad Pitt level stuff we're gonna do, because I'm gonna tell you off the bat right now, the reason why Kite lost is because he didn't cheat, and I like Chrollo because he does cheat, and we're gonna cheat all the way through this.
All right.
So the off the get-go, we have the Phantom Troop that we're gonna be going with is going to be that which comprises of Hisoka, Illumi, no Ugogin, and a live Shanlark, and I need Cortopito. Is that okay? Can I use that modified Phantom Troop?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like you said he's taking Hisoka's abilities too?
Well, even better, we're gonna cheat, and what's happening is we're gonna lure Pitou into an area where we already have bungee gum everywhere.
Oh.
And I mean everywhere.
So like this
And
is at that point it's not even Hisoka versus Pitou. It's like, can Pitou die if Chrollo hits Pitou with like other people's stuff? Like can Pitou die? Yes, Pitou can die. Yes, but like I don't think Chrollo on its own can.
Yeah. But okay, but listen to the headcanon I got here. So first of all, we gotta prep the whole troop with Illumi. We're gonna use Illumi just like Pitou uses her manipulator ability in order to enhance her body beyond its limits. Remember, she does that thing where her body goes like crazy once her head gets blown off, and now it's like moving at the speed of light, and it's able to fight Gon and take off his adult Gon for some reason. Remember that?
Yeah, like postmortem Nenpito, you mean? Is that what you mean?
Exactly. We're using Illumi's Nen needles like steroids to pump everybody's physicality up to their very limit. So automatically, Maki, Franklin, Cortopito, Shaunark. Shaunark's going to be like my freaking proton missile here, because what's going to happen with him, his manipulator ability is going to get stacked with Illumi's ability. That's going to be pumping his senses to their heightened ability, so they have picosecond reaction time. And they're all basically going to be the Hulk juiced up. So they're all going to be like mini Ugogins. Not quite Ugogin, but they're all going to be Ugogin. And what's going to happen is, as soon as Pitou does the thing, remember when Pitou just jumps into the fray when she sees Gon and Kai and Killua chilling?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We're using that against her. We're going to be like, oh, hi, we're over here. And then guess what? She's going to go right into the bungee gun, and she's going to be like, what is this? And we're all going to yell at her, well, you just stepped into the properties of bungee gum, which has the properties of rubber and glue. And she's going to find out what it's like to get hit with everybody souped up on these needles at the same time. Mind you, we have Franklin, who's just going to be doing eternal drive-by, just constant, like, shooting her, and then it's over. Chrollo wins. And Chrollo was just sitting there, you know, like he usually does when he first showed up like a gangster, and he's just looking cool like, this is my spider phantom truth.
So this is...
That's how
What happened if like, Pitou's aura is just, like, stronger than the bungee gum itself, and she just rips apart it, like easily?
That's not how Nin works.
Honestly,
That's exactly how that works, bro.
Yeah, I actually think there is a good chance Pitou might just be able to straight flex and rip out of the bungee gum, but also this is more like this is more like Pitou versus the whole Phantom Troop rather than Pitou versus Chrollo.
Yes. Well, I'll admit to you right now, Lilo. What if I say doing it? We're not doing it. Well, this is a High School Musical. We're all in this together.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think like if you have the whole Phantom Troop jumping Pitou, there's a chance they could win. Even that's kind of tough, to be honest.
I'm gonna be honest.
Really? You really think? Wait, hold up. It's still my turn. Wait, it's still my turn. You really think that if I have Franklin in the background doing an eternal drive-by, Pitou's gonna be having any moment to think?
Yeah, I mean, because they're only like a little stronger than average bullets, and like even Killua was dodging like sniper rifles amped by Nen, like let alone like Pitou. Like most if not all of the Phantom Troop would just get one tapped.
I don't know. What? Wait, hold on. Let's back this up really quick. Are you saying Franklin's Nin bullets, the saw machine gun coming out of his fingers, is just a little bit more powerful than a gun?
I think so, yeah. I mean, is there anything that like suggests that they're like massively stronger than a gun?
No, I was actually just looking at your goodwill and hoping you would say, "Well, you might be right."
Oh no, no. I mean, like Uvogin's Big Bang Impact in the manga is like stated to be the strength of a small missile, and he's supposed to be like the strongest of the Phantom Troop, physically strongest. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't really think. I don't know, man. You could make a good argument that Pitou on its own could just kill the whole Phantom Troop, especially like post-mortem Nenpito coming back after it dies. Like, it's a little
let's just slow down really quick.
I don't know. Wait, can I just say something real quick? Franklin has a Nen binding valve when he cut off his fingers for the bullets, so they are actually very strong.
That's true. That is true.
Okay. Okay,
those are bouncing off Pitou like raindrops, bro.
They might too.
Well, let me handle this. Okay, what if I augment the Phantom Troop one member? We need to add that ref so we have somebody who can act as a living bomb.
Wait, how are they gonna make him? Like, you mean like with Sun and Moon, like Chrollo just like turns one of the people into a bomb to blow him up?
Exactly. What we're gonna do is this, and this is how it's gonna work out. We're gonna have what's his name? Finks. Finks is going to charge up his fist, right? And we're gonna save him like indefinitely. We're gonna be like, hey, bro, the entire time, keep cranking it until you get to like 800 cranks. Do we want you to stop? But get ready for it, because you will come in handy. So we have him charging that up in the background. Before that, we're gonna all beat the absolute mess for fun out of Phaeton. Phaeton, we need the pain packer. We're gonna get you ready. So we're gonna beat you in an inch of your life. We're still gonna use the bungee gun because I don't care what you guys say, it's at least going to hold Pitou for a minute. And that's all we need for that. We just need a minute. Then we're gonna go talk to that ref at Heaven's Arena and be like, hey man, we know you like to do suicidal stuff like officiate, arenas or matches where you're probably gonna die. So we got a mission for you. And he's probably gonna say yes. And we're gonna put the Sun and Moon on him willingly. After that,
But why not just make a clone? Why not just make a clone? Like, why do you have to sacrifice a life? Right?
No, he wants to be in here.
Oh,
he wants this.
All right.
He lives for this.
All right.
Okay, all right. So now we have 3 nukes. These are the 3 nukes. Because what we're gonna do is for like a whole day, we're gonna, however long he rests the Sun and Moon thing on him, that's how strong the explosion is. So we have that nuke, we have the Phaeton nuke, and the Finks nuke. And what's gonna happen all at once while Franklin is shooting his bullets, causing absolute chaos, while Maki is trying to also hold Pitou down in the midst of the bungee gum catching her. So we have Maki holding her down, we have the bungee gum, we have everybody doing everything they can just to hold her in this spot. And then we all go. We send in Finks first. That might not work, but it's gonna do damage. We send in the ref for second. That's gonna do damage. It might not work, but what I know will work because we've seen the effects of it is the Queen, the Pain Packer. And if that doesn't do it, I don't know what does. That's all 3 nukes. That's all I got.
I mean, maybe that would work in like a perfect universe if they set everything up perfectly. Maybe, yes, maybe. But also like the Phantom Troop showed that they could dodge Pain Packer. So if the Phantom Troop could dodge it, like probably Pitou should be able to as well.
The Pain Packer, bro. Even when Maki's holding her down with the nin string and the bungee gum, how's she gonna get out of this? I don't understand.
I just don't really think bungee gum. Yeah, I don't think bungee.
And then remember, we're amped on steroids from Illumi's nin needles, telling our bodies to give us full access to all of our strength, heightening our reaction time.
That still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Pitou's kind of like putting a Naruto character in Hunter x Hunter, bro. Like, everything is not gonna happen.
Spider-Man against Superman.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
Okay, what about this? What if we did this instead? I already got it down. No. Wait. I got it. I already know what to do. This is gonna be easy. What if we shove a needle into Gon's head from Illumi?
Wait, Gon's here now? Why is Gon here, bro? Wait, why is Gon coming out of nowhere? Where did Gon come from, bro?
I'll tell you. Exactly. This is how he comes in. We get Illumi to go, quote-unquote, visit Killua.
What is this, bro?
All Illumi's doing, he's going to nin needle Gon to go adult gone mode and go attack Pitou for us.
All
Game
right.
over.
Okay, yeah, that would work. That okay. Adult gone.
So, Pedro, you're like King Shadow. He was like genuinely hilarious, bro. Like, thank you for this debate, bro.
You're welcome, bro. Okay, I don't want to hog the mic anymore.
All right.
The only way Chrollo can even win if he gets other strong people from the verse to even help him out. If not, he's just basically cooked. So.
Oh, Lilo, guess what?
What's up?
I would be that ref just so that I could participate. No, I'm kidding.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. And be nice to King Shadow, guys. Be nice to King Shadow. But Lenny, did you wanna share anything, Lenny?
Well, not really. I already think that Chrollo's not going to be able to beat Pitou. And we already had, like, multiple examples. Like, even if we just weight Chrollo to the max, he still needs, like, competent people to even do some form of damage or to hold Pitou down for, like, a couple seconds. And there's no way Chrollo's going to be able to access, like, everybody. Like, let's just be honest. In all reality, I think Chrollo's just going to end up dying to Pitou.
Yeah, I agree, man. I don't think it's really a close fight, to be honest. Is there any?
Will say otherwise.
What if we had a bear?
Did you just say if we add a bear, like the animal?
Yeah, like 100 men versus a bear. We need a bear, I think.
Wow, that might actually be the
That might
trick.
do it. That might do it, bro.
I'm pretty sure that's Pitou's one weakness is just like normal bears, I think. But all right, Zero, I think is the only person who hasn't shared yet. Zero, did you want to share anything, man? Well, Zero might not be here. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. I think that's it for the debate here.
One more thing, Lilo, if you don't mind. That's what I asked.
Yeah, what's up?
It would we could do like our anime games good debate or like something funny like that one day. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh yeah, I'm down to do that.
Anime games are not that good. I would like to say that right now.
I agree.
I think they just have a lot of potential, but they're just usually unfinished when they're released, like most of them.
They're just copy and paste and not that much improve on, in my opinion. That's just the sum of anime games. And that's the most problems that I have with anime games. That's why I don't care for anime games all that much when people get hype about them.
Like I want to love them, but I just don't think like they're complete products most of the time. But like the last great anime game was Fighter Z, in my opinion.
I was Street Fighter guy, so.
And even then, Fighter Z barely had content, to be honest.
I didn't really get too deep in it. I mostly just watched gameplay of it, but it looked great.
Like the raid battles, that shit were dope. Don't get me wrong, but the single player stuff, like they had to add a patch to make the game be able to play offline because people wanted single player stuff, and then they just forgot to add single player stuff. It's kind of sad.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh my god, Lilo. Oh my goodness. I just figured something out.
What's up?
Okay, dude. There is an ability that I think Chrollo has where he switches places with stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he can like teleport other people.
Oh my goodness. So, and this, I'm being dead serious. I just thought about this when I logged off, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's how we kill this thing. What if legitimately Finks is charging that? I'm just gonna use Finks now. Actually, we use Finks. We use Finks to literally charge up to like 1,000. Cyclo Destructor, whatever his ability is, crank it to 1,000, and then we have him. Crow's gonna tell him, "Sock me in the face." Everything, do it. And then he switches abilities with Pitou, and boom, his head's gone.
I mean, like, the honest truth is, we don't even know if Finks' full power charge is even stronger than Uvagen's Big Bang Impact. We actually don't even know because Finks is an enhancer and so is Uvagen, and Uvagen's stated to be the physically strongest. So like, it legit might just be a little weaker than Big Bang Impact for all we know.
Okay, I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd say that because this is what I'm thinking. That was stated because they were just doing arm wrestling matches, and that could be just raw physical ability without Nen. But what I'm saying is this: Finks is still number 2 on the chart, and the cyclotron, his net ability, is a pure multiplier. So if he gets to charge it 1,000 times, like he's just cranking it day and night, preparing this thing, and Phaeton and Finks and Chrollo are like, all right, we already know our target, so bro, don't miss. And then on the switch, boom, head gone. I think it's powerful enough after 1,000 cranks to take Pitou's head off.
Well, it's probably just limited to like the total amount of aura that Finks has. Like, I don't think he's going to like magically get more aura than his full body has. Like, we saw what happens when Gon used Rock. If he uses it like 3 or 4 times, he just passes out because he uses all of his aura. So, like, I mean, even if you took all of Finks' aura and put it into one attack, I don't think it's going to be enough to kill Pitou. It's pretty much like Finks', if you're highballing it, it would be like Finks' version of a Zero Hand. And, like, Finks is like a fodder baby compared to Netero. So I don't think it's going to be like a Zero Hand level attack by any means.
Well, I think you'd be correct, but we're in the anime verse, and this is shonen, and the Phantom Troop have been friends all their lives. So this is the power of friendship.
Wow.
So when he's about to sock Chrollo in the face, the power of friendship from Shonen will be enforced, and that will kill Pitou.
You know what? I didn't think about the power of friendship, but the power of friendship, yeah, you're right. Probably one taps. But I think Lenny was trying to say something too. What were you trying?
Bro, can you look in the debate VC chat, like in here? Bromus had like put his argument there of a strategy. Can you like read it?
You said it's in the voice chat.
Debate VC1 chat. Yeah. You see, like we're in this VC. There's like a little message.
Okay. He said thoughts on this strategy. That thing. Yeah. He said.
APR and Cortopi's ability.
Okay. Yeah. Chrollo steals APR, so that's Knuckles, and Gallery Fake. Makes a city block like Coratopi did back in York New. Plant APR on Pitou with a random hit, teleport away with his unknown teleportation ability, and then trap Pitou in Fun Cloth. I mean, yeah, it's possible. Like, there are Hatsu abilities. If you combine them all together, like, yes, you could beat Pitou. But it's like, Chrollo has never even spoken to Knuckle, though, so, like, how is he gonna get APR? But, like, yes, in theory, if you give him, like, the right combination of abilities from different people in the series, there is a way to win, yeah. But all right, guys, I think that's everything for this debate. Thank you guys all for tuning in.
No, thank you, bro.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys. I'm just gonna yap to the YouTube chat for a second.
Power of friendship.
All right, see you guys.
Professor.
All right, guys. I think that was everything for this one. But yeah, Bromus made a good point. Like, APR is just kind of broken. Knuckles Hatsu is kind of broken, dude. But alright, chat, I think that's everything for this stream. I bought Dragon Quest, Togashi's favorite video game. I've never played it before. I might start streaming that in a few minutes here. If you guys see a video game stream start in the next like 20-30 minutes, that's probably what I'll be doing. If not, that means I just like decided to go to sleep or something. But all right, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for the comments. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys for the views. And I'll see you guys on the next one. New video either tomorrow or Wednesday. It's a Hisoka versus Chrollo analysis.